Well, you know what time it is. When you hear that voice, when you hear that music, it's time for another episode of Mission Start Podcast. Hello, everybody.
Woo.
My name is Anthony Bianis, and joining me this morning, who is not Greg Dietz because he's off at MagFest or going to MagFest.
Lucky bastard.
is none other than Ramen.
What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing?
Right. So, actually, let me turn this down just a tad. Hang on. The music's a bit loud on my end. Which I love the music. I need to turn this down a bit. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Let me up more. Alright. So, I got some good news. As you can see, and as I'm kind of waving my arms, this quality right now, this stream, after weeks of figuring it out, is now at a HD quality of it's actually higher than some 20p. It's actually 1336 by 768p quality in 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
On fast CPU on OBS. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So from here on out, you're gonna see just basically top quality, high quality streams from me. So that's been a lot of fun. It was a long time coming. So that I'm happy about that actually. So aside from that, we got a bunch of news topics for today. And let's begin because it's still fresh in my mind. Batman's canceled game. Now this was a segment that Did You Know Gaming did, but basically it was going into how Pandemic Studios actually died. I didn't know this. Apparently they were making a new Batman game for the upcoming movie The Dark Knight, but what ended up happening is that the system that they were using, called Odin, was not working well when they start inputting like Batman or other character models into the game. So it started messing up the system. Like the lighting would screw up, like the physics would not work for some odd reason. Like whenever you put a model into the engine, it would mess everything up. And this continued to be essentially the downfall of Pandemic Studios, which, for those who don't know, Pandemic Studios are the guys who made Mercenaries back in the day on PS2. They are also, I believe, the ones that made Battlefront. I want to say the original Star Wars Battlefront on the Xbox One and PS2. And then they made a bunch of other awesome action-packed games. But essentially, yeah, they did Battlefront. Yeah, okay, and Undestroy All Humans. That's right. And the thing about this is that basically, when they were brought to task to make the Batman game, it essentially led them to the eventual closure of Pandemic Studios. So yeah, it's a really very interesting video. I suggest if you guys haven't, go check it out. It's on the hang on, let me get the link or the actual name of the YouTube channel before I start guessing. It's Did You Know Gaming channel. Yeah. It's definitely check it out, guys. It's really interesting. Essentially from somebody who knew the Pandemic games in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean they were like a pretty good studio, like back during the PS2 and like Xbox days. I believe there was actually a few members of Bungie, and like some of the higher up Bungie members actually were one of the ones that started it. I think it was Pandemic. Oh, and either way, the studio was like very, very talented.
mm-hmm.
It really sucks that the game was canceled. You know what I mean? I mean, it would have been cool to have a tie-in game, you know, because I mean that movie was just so like wildly popular. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a shame, but I mean, it's kind of cool that they decided to, you know, just stop it instead of putting out like a broken game like you see happen like nowadays, you know.
That is true. That is a good point you bring up. Because like it was, if they brought out that game the way that it would have been broken. It would have gotten, it probably would have been not worth releasing it in the first place. So, you know, in the end, it was better for them to cancel the game. You know, given that, you know, somebody within the Batman cast accidentally leaked that it was happening. But like, yeah, like it's Pandemic was one of those studios that was really good. If you guys have not checked it out, please check out Pandemic's library games they made back in the day. They were really great. Destroy All Humans was great. Mercenaries was really fun. And a ton of other games too. Saboteur was actually pretty okay. I remember it came out and I was like pretty hyped for it, but it came out pretty okay, or was it good? I can't remember exactly. It's been a while, but yeah, it's a very interesting video, so definitely check it out when you get the chance. I'll put a link in the show notes actually. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, you know, rip Pandemic. I mean, like this started long before, but like yeah. Okay, so I believe it was this past weekend or last weekend, the Killer Instinct Cup that happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a great tournament. That was a really great tournament.
I sadly did not tune in, but I heard it was really, really hype. So one of the things they announced in the weekend is that, and you saw the trailer there,
Arbiter.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so sick.
So
Can't wait to see how he plays.
yeah, so one of the things about Killer Instinct Cup, first of all, let me preference. Killer Instinct Cup is basically kind of their version of Capcom Cup, where they bring in, you know, some pretty good Killer Instinct players to come in to play in this one huge tournament for a good amount of money. And it was basically a Killer Instinct event as well as it was an event as well as a what's the word I'm looking for? A promotion. The company in the game, really.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they pushed the season 3 stuff like really hard. But one of the things that I thought was really cool about it is that like the first few, like the first like 2 or 3 hours of the actual stream, they showed off Kim Woo. Then they also went over all of the changes from all the characters. Like every single character got like
nice,
like complete overhaul, and they went through and showed you every single character and showed you like all like the new toys that they have or like the differences and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was awesome. You know what I mean? To have them show you exactly, okay, this is different. This is how it works now, and then, you know, showing it to you. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Okay, because I didn't tune in any of the KI thing. I knew it was happening that week, but I didn't know that they were going that in depth with each character. That's cool. What were some other things they did throughout the stream? Because I didn't watch it per se, but like what were some other things that they showed off on stream other than this competition?
Like I said, they showed off all the new season 3 changes. They showed off Kim Woo. They had a exhibition of some of the players playing the new characters in season 3. You know what I mean? To kind of give people a little tease of like what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was mostly done on the first day of the event, and then like the next day it was just the entire tournament.
Okay, cool.
You know, I mean, I felt like it was like a really good balance of hey, let's get hyped for this new thing and let's advertise the shit out of it, and, you know, actually showing off, you know, the game's tournament following.
Okay. That definitely it's a great idea, actually. Now, not thinking about it. You know, having that opportunity, if you have a game weekend to yourself, to promote not only the tournament but also, like, you know, the company and the products after that. Like, that's something I think Capcom should take out of his book next time for Capcom Cup. I mean, like, it is a Street Fighter only event, but, like, you know, think about it. You got all those eyeballs. You can use that opportunity to talk about other Capcom upcoming games or trailers for that. So yeah, definitely, good on KI on the KI crew for making it happen. I know it was streamed on Maximilian's stream channel, so
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. I thought was kind of weird. Like, they didn't have their own stream channel. They just let Maximilian do it. I mean, which is fine. You know what I mean? But
right.
I just kind of figured if it's like the World Cup that they would have, their own stream channel up.
Right, right. I think the reason being is because he's got such a mass following that they want to use that advantage of his following to tune in to KI. Like he loves Maximilian really loves KI, and he expresses it very well in his streams. So his audience also loves KI. Well, for a good part of them.
Yeah.
So using
actually, he's done some work for them. Like he's made the
that's true. That's right. Forgot about that.
Like a few of the trailers for the games that have came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I mean, I kind of, and I'm pretty sure he probably does some other things with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, he's pretty close with the company.
Right. It totally makes sense now you're thinking about it. That yeah, he's connected with the company. He loves KI. It's a match made in heaven. I mean, they could have used they could have made it their own Twitch channel and dressed it up so people can come in and subscribe. But I think because I believe, and this is my guessing, is that because if they made their own Twitch channel, yes, they'll get a lot of viewers and a lot of followers. When they're gonna use that Twitch channel again? As to Maximilian, it's always streaming, and like we'll play KI and talk about it every other day on the stream. So I think through that viewpoint, I think using Maximilian's channel to stream is perfectly fine. It's a little weird and different than normal, but I think it fits, and it makes no sense that he works with him too. So
yeah, I mean, like really, he's probably the only person that I could really think of that really closely covers the game still.
Yeah.
Well, the game's been out for like a couple of years, so I mean, it's like, all right, like a lot of people kind of stopped covering it whatsoever, except for him.
Yep. The other thing I want to point out, or the other thing I want to talk about, and it's funny because it's right on the topic bar, but so Arbiter is going to be in Killer Instinct Season 3, which I find cool because the Arbiter is like one of the coolest characters in the Halo franchise, in the Halo series. So I love seeing him back again. I think having him in there is, I think, a better choice than Master Chief.
Oh yeah. I would totally agree. Like it just seems like the way the game is and the way the fighting works, you know what I mean? It would make more sense to have Arbiter.
Definitely. And plus, it's a Microsoft product. It's a Microsoft's only fighting game. Yeah, like it makes total sense for him to be in the game.
And then also, Rash is in there too.
Yes.
From Battletoads.
Yes. So Rash and Arbiter are the two guest characters. Potentially more coming down the road. The one thing I find, what was I gonna say? Oh man, last train of thought. It'll come back to me. But like, but seeing the Arbiter in the game is really cool. I think. Oh, so it'd be funny if if they put in the Cole from Dead or Alive, the Spartan in the DOA 4, and put it into Killer Instinct, tie the universe between Dead or Alive and Killer Instinct. That'd be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny.
Oh man, no, it's cool. I think that I think it's pretty cool. So I'm all for it. So, and I get to hear more the voice actor. Forgot his name.
Yeah, and
he's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's been in like a lot of video games too. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also cool too that the game is finally coming out on Windows.
Yeah, it is. It is coming out on PC.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it's going to breathe, a little bit of like new life into the game. Since it's going to be able to reach more people. I really wanted to play the game when it first came out. I didn't have an Xbox One. I
Right.
have a PC,
Yeah.
so once the game comes out, I can finally play it and I can actually spend some time.
PC Master Race.
Yup.
It's cool. Like my time of KI has been kind of weird because they had KI on my school, and they still have. And I played through the trial mode. Just kind of feeling how the game feels. Not particular my taste per se. I love some things about KI. And there's some things I don't like. But having KI on PC, I think is cool. I mean, realistically, we're kind of going in that future anyways with fighting games. Really, more fighting games becoming on PC. Along with consoles, but more and more, like the fighting games that were strictly on consoles are also coming to PC. So it's the changing of the times for sure. But yeah, KI. There's your KI talk for the week. So our next topic, let's talk about some sales numbers. Yeah, because that's awesome.
Yay, numbers.
Recently, actually I have it on this screen actually. Woo. Recently they put out numbers from Nintendo in terms of like what were their top selling games, first party games for the year 2015? No, 2015, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go on a limb and say it was Mario Maker was the top.
No, actually.
Okay.
I mean, like, think about it,
Monster?
man. No. Think of the
Okay,
game.
go.
Think of first party games for Nintendo. What came out in 2015 for Nintendo?
Did Smash come out 15?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, then yeah, it would have to definitely be Smash.
That's interesting. This actually covers like the games prior as well. Prior to 2015, the more I look at it, actually.
Okay. Give me the numbers.
Okay, so I'm gonna go from top to bottom. It's in order. Okay, so actually I'm gonna go from bottom to top just to make it more interesting. So, at the bottom, hang on, let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the 10th most selling game from Nintendo from last year is Mario Party 10, ironically, at 1.65 million copies sold. They call it PCs, but I believe that's copies. It's on Nintendo's Japanese site. Ninth was The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD with 1.69 million units, which is a good game. If you have not played Wind Waker, please, it's a really good game. Check it out. The art's freaking awesome.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because remember when the game first
Oh
came
my
out,
God.
everybody was like,
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
gonna play that game.
I have, man, oops. I was, okay, funny enough, during that time, I was kind of on that bandwagon because the reason being everybody was so upset is because they saw a tech demo of what Zelda would have looked like in full 3D and people lost their shit. And
Yeah.
And then when they showed this, it's like, they were going up and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I was, oof. You're talking
Yeah,
about,
I mean, I was, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, okay, I'm ready for like this super duper cool, super duper real looking Link, and then got that, and I was like, okay, whatever.
like, man, that was if you want to know some nerd rage back then, whew, people were pissed, and these are Nintendo fans too.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who didn't even play the game.
Oh my God, yeah, that was, man. I would love to tell that story one of these days again. Oh man. But yeah, it came in 9th. Wind Waker still, pretty good game. Check out. 8th, and I did not know this game existed. But it's New Super Luigi U with 2.42 million copies sold. I have to check it out. I think I have like the other Mario game actually. It was higher up on this list actually. But I need to go play that. I have a Wii U now, so I can play Wii U games again, Woo.
Yeah.
Discovering new games I've never played before. So, at number, 6 is actually Super Mario Maker with 3.34 million copies sold. Given
Wow.
given it was came out in 2015. In 1 year, it sold 3.34 million copies. And these other games written off this list has been around for a bit longer than Mario Maker.
Yeah.
So if we take that average of 3.34 million copies for 1 year, it's gonna probably go down maybe like another couple, maybe a couple thousand, maybe million. That's still going to make still make really good, going to sell really good copies for the next coming years, especially if Nintendo keeps that content support for Mario Maker.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a really huge game for streamers and people, on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. So number 5 on our list is Splatoon with 4.6 million copies sold last year, which is very impressive for a game that was a new IP. It just came out in 2015, and again, because of the support of Nintendo, this game has really developed into a great game on the Wii U. People love it. I have the game. It's really fun. The game is really good.
Yeah, it looks like a really, really fun game. I got to play it like a little bit, and I had a blast with it. Only thing that's kind of like a bad thing against it is that they hold a World Cup, like a championship for it.
Yeah.
But it's only over there. They don't have a American championship for it.
Right. I think they're still testing the waters. I mean, I think when it comes to games that are multiplayer, they can become a competitive thing, that may become an esports thing. It takes time. I think if you're going to release a game that has a multiplayer aspect that could cater to that, I say let it develop. Don't force it on people. Just look at freaking. I don't know, what was that EA game that came out? Oh my God, it was 4 people against this one monster.
Evolve.
Yes, Evolve was an example of this, and Greg is something on the other defender of that game, but
walking simulator.
Yeah, the game was. It was an interesting Left 4 Dead type of game, but the problem with that game was because they were forcing esports into it, nobody saw that as an esports game. And when they forced it, it was what are you doing?
So, yeah. I mean, that's just the whole thing. I just feel like if a game is gonna end up being a esport, it kind of needs to do it on its own,
Yeah, definitely.
It needs to it needs to just come out, and then if people love it, and then they end up being hey, this is really fun to play against other people, and you can build a tournament scene off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with a lot of games, like Halo. Nobody ever when the game came out, it was just
yeah, that's true.
And then it ended up becoming one of the biggest esports games for a while.
Yeah, for sure. So let things develop. Don't force them.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that have developed into a competitive edge, number 4 on the list is Super Smash Bros. For Wii U with 4.61 million copies. I've also
no surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise there. I heard reports that they're gonna have a port version of this game for the NX for the next Nintendo.
Definitely.
So
If I could totally see them. If they come out with the NX, it'll probably launch with Super Smash Brothers, and it'll be hey, it's Smash Brothers again, but you can get all the characters,
Oh, that's true. Kind of like a Game of the Year edition type of thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that for sure. Because I was gonna throw out, I'm gonna throw a way out of left field park to say if they release the game for NX, which they will probably, that they're gonna release it with a new character, but then I think that having a kind of Game of the Year edition of the game actually makes more sense for the NX. So
yeah.
All right. So coming in at, let's see, this is the 4th game, Super Mario 3D World, which I have, selling at 4.63 million copies. I've yet to beat that game, but the game is actually pretty good. So it's a classic Mario. It's fun.
Yeah.
Number 3, and I'm still kind of surprised by this, but then again, that's coming from a guy who has freaking a ton of amiibos, like by Dr. Mario. at selling at 5.2 million copies is Nintendo Land.
Is that only because the game shipped with the console?
No, actually, because like each of these games are how many copies they sold. It didn't say like if it was sold. Yeah, it didn't say like how many copies it sold with the bundle. I don't think it counts with the bundle. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what they're saying. This is Wii U software sales. So I can see it both ways. I can see the fact that if there is counting the bundle, then yeah, obviously. But by itself, that's still a lot of copies sold to this date.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo Land is just like, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird thing because like it's a bunch of mini games, but some of the mini games are actually pretty good and pretty fun. But
yeah. I mean, like a lot of the sales probably just come from the the casual market.
It's true. It's true. And given the fact that Nintendo Land was one of the first early games for Wii U, and then when it came out, like there wasn't much games to buy with the Wii U, so it might be the default game that everybody just bought. It's like, hey, let's get the Wii, Nintendo Land just to play something on the Wii U. So possibly, I don't know. Number 2 is Super Mario Bros. U. 5.8 million copies. Another good game. The classic 2D Mario, but just done in 3D. And I'm gonna let you guess. What do you think what is currently the number 1 selling game for Wii U?
Probably Monster Hunter.
You would have bet wrong. Glad I'm not going you for betting advice.
Yeah, right.
It's actually Mario Kart 8.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
7.24 million copies sold.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because I mean, really, Mario Kart 8 came out at a time when nothing was coming out. It was like really the only
that's
game,
true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. No,
I mean, I feel like that helped it, but even then too, like the game's really good.
Yeah.
And, like everybody loves Mario Kart.
Yeah, I would argue the fact that Mario Kart was coming out at a time where there weren't many games, but I felt there was a good enough library at that point where there were some games you can choose from other than the 2 or 3 that were for Nintendo Wii U that were first party. The thing that still hurts Nintendo, and this is something they've been. This is since like GameCube. No, take that back. After GameCube, their third-party support has been awful. Like they cannot get the third-party support for their consoles to make some of these games. So have them come in and make games. Don't get me wrong. There's been some great third-party games on the Nintendo consoles, but majority of the third-party companies are with Sony or with Microsoft.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, it's just and it's part of the reason for that, just because the company keeps on going with these different gimmicks with their console. You know what I mean? Like, oh, motion control, and oh, second screen and motion control. And really, it's just like a really hard time for devs to make games around that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm pretty sure it probably cost them like a lot more money to put work into doing that sort of thing,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, here's the thing too. Hang on a minute. Sorry. I got distracted by some posting a GIF of Bayonetta and Smash. The thing about it too is like the control scheme for Nintendo. The Wii U controller. Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm too far away from it. Because it kind of uses that you don't have to use it, but that because it's like partly it does use motion control and double screen, it's a bit different than your usual games that you would have for your console-based games. And Nintendo's always been that like after the GameCube, so that's why it's hard for their third-party companies to come in and make their games, because they're so used to the console market in terms of like having the controller in your hand and having the game in front of you on the TV or on your screen. Whereas Nintendo products after the GameCube was you're using motion control, you're using the Wii U, you're using the Wii Emote to do your motions for some aspects of the game to make it more quote unquote innovative. So I think it's the reason why it's hard for third parties to jump on board and make games for Nintendo. On top of that, sales numbers for third parties on Nintendo consoles have not been the greatest either. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
hmm But yep, there's your sales for 2015 and beyond, I guess, or for in the past. But Nintendo's, I think having Mario Maker and Splatoon last year was by far the biggest hits for Nintendo Wii U. And I believe it kept on flip too. So, all right. So we're going to sales into a game that I am really hoping I get in. Blizzard, if you're watching this video, if you're listening to this podcast, please let me in. The reason I'm saying is because, let me get the B-roll footage for this actually. Overwatch, the game that's being developed by Blizzard, the kind of free-to-play, well, last I checked, free-to-play, no, it's a full-price game. Basically, it's like TF2 mashed in with
Oh yeah. Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah, TF2 mashed in with like what's the word I'm looking for? Not RTS, but MOBA. Yeah, MOBA elements. Announced that they are going to have the closed beta reopen as of February 9th.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Hopefully, I can get in this time.
Yes, same here.
Because as far as I understood it, the last time they had the beta, it was supposed to be the very last beta until the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm really excited. I cannot wait to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun. All the different characters and the different. Oh god, it's gonna be so fucking awesome.
Yes. I am very, very excited for this game. The characters are pretty cool. And oh my god, the entire universe, everything about this game just bleeds fun.
Yeah.
So here's a bit of information about the beta, and this is off their website, which you can find on battle.net/overwatch/en/blog. So here's what they say. Get ready for your next objective, heroes. The Overwatch closed beta returns February 9th. Since the last round of testing, our technicians back in Whiston Labs have been hard at work analyzing field data and building out several new features and updates, including an all-new progression system, 2 new maps, including a new game mode, several hero balance updates, and a variety of private game updates, including full AI matches. Closed beta testers will have a chance to check out all these changes and more as soon as the game returns to active duty next week. Stay tuned for additional details about the new Overwatch beta, as well as the official patch notes. As a reminder, if you have access to closed beta before the break, you will continue to have access during this next phase of testing. With so much new content available, we are also looking to recruit more players to help us get an even wider range of perspective and feedback. So if you're interested in participating, make sure to opt in. So yeah, and let's see, hang on a minute. So for America and Europe, the February 9th is when the closed beta will reopen. But it will also reopen in Asia on February 16th, like about a week later. So yeah, go and if you want to participate in the closed beta and have a chance to get in, go apply.
Yeah, as soon as I read that they're having another beta, I went in, applied, like that next second.
Yeah, definitely. I am really excited. I hope I get in. I hope Blizzard, if you're watching this, please let me in.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, we're all excited, as you can tell. So the game's really fun. It looks really great, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. I think the esports scene of it, I think, may not be as. To me, I feel like it's hard to do an esports thing on first-person shooters because of like the design of it. You're always looking at a particular first-person view. And
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a Blizzard game. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have
that's
like
true.
a pretty good system for watching.
That's true.
I mean,
I'm thinking
like
about it. Yeah.
For Halo 5, they added a mode where you can see everybody's view and switch between people. So I mean, I feel like it's not really that hard. I think what it's going to come down to is just basically just the players, you know, like what they do with the game, like once it comes out,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and also depend, you know, on the balance of the actual gameplay itself and characters and whatnot, you know.
Right, right.
I would probably have to guess that it might, you know, with the with Activision Blizzard recently buying MOG, you know. Um,
That is true.
I mean, I kind of feel like any kind of chance that they would get to put a game out in the esports scene that's been, you know, growing so huge over the past, you know, year or so, I feel like they're gonna want to cash in on it.
Possibly. It's a good point too, bringing up that they did recently buy MOG, so they can showcase their games, including Call of Duty, including StarCraft, and other games as well.
Yeah.
But you are right though. I think that if there's any company out there that has the tools and the necessity to make it work in the esports scene, it would be Blizzard.
Yeah.
They've done well with StarCraft. They've done well with Heroes of the Storm recently. They've done well with their games in terms of making them into an esports thing. Hearthstone is another big example. So yeah, I think that I think they we'll have to wait and see. I am very curious to see what they do for spectators, because I think in game playing the game, like, I think it's fun. I think it's awesome. I think for spectators to watch, because it's always been hard to do an esports spectator thing for people to watch first-person shooter games, because it's because you're always switching from viewpoint to viewpoint, and kind of at times maybe a bit confused sometimes, where the particular characters are on the screen. And Blizzard, I have faith if they're gonna go into that they'll definitely do it for sure. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, Overwatch is a lot of fun. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a great game, I think.
Definitely. All right, so now this game is a game where, oh, I just realized. Wait, I gotta check something. Hang on a minute. Because this game, yes. Okay, it makes sense now. All right. So this game I played back in the day. It's one of my favorite. Might be my favorite game of all time. That game was Doom. Doom.
Oh, yes.
The original Doom was my favorite game to play. I would play it every so often. I played the crap out of that game, and it was a lot of fun. So, we had other Doom games, like there's a new one in the works right now. Bethesda showed off a new trailer this past week. Oh, no, not past week, last year, like before E3, they're having their own Bethesda press conference, and they showed a new trailer for it. They recently announced that they have a new trailer, or they showed up a new trailer, which you're seeing right now on screen, actually. First off, freaking A, the game looks so good. Oh my god.
So fucking
Oh my
great.
god, it's so good. And on top of that, like, much of the enemies in the game are like, it's a modernized version of the classic enemies. Like, you see like the one-eyed monster, you see some of the like other aliens that were originally the cyber demon at the very end. Like, it's really cool because the OG me is like, yeah, digging it. But the art styles, but like freaking the game looks so freaking good. But like other than that though, like the announcement that it's coming out on May 13th this year, I think was a shocker to me. I didn't think that it would come out that fast.
Yeah,
but,
I was thinking that it maybe might have came out like a little bit later, like maybe around holiday season or something like that, or something like that. But
yeah,
that's really cool to hear that it's coming so soon.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't be surprised anyways, because this was a game that was shown at QuakeCon last year. But obviously there was nobody had footage, so we really didn't know. Only people there knew, and they had make sure nobody leaked out anything, other than people saying like, oh, the game looks good. But like I didn't know it was this far along in the process. So hearing that it's coming out this year, it's really cool. I totally dig it. Which means that probably more than anything, they might showcase it like a bit at E3 at the Bethesda press conference. Bethesda's having their own press conference this year again, like last year. Oh, excuse me. Oh man. But yeah, like yeah, it's coming out this year on May 13th, which happens to be also on Friday the 13th.
That is cool.
Yeah, I was looking at May 13th, so it's like I wonder. It's like, oh yeah, that makes total sense now.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. Something I forgot to put in here in the topics, but like, so Bethesda's having their own press conference again this year. They're gonna show Doom. They're gonna, I guess, some other properties as well. But interesting.
I feel like it's about time for them to come out with another Elder Scrolls, like a single player, not the MMO shit they had,
Right. I know they had some games they announced last year's press conference for Bethesda, but like there were games that they announced initially, but they didn't really go in depth to like that card trading game that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. There are other games they showed off in that press conference. Some of them already came out or coming out this year.
Yeah, but well, they announced Fallout 4 there, and then it came out within this, within that same year.
That's true. It'll be too easy for me to say that they'll show off a new Elder Scrolls, but I think they'll have something to show off this year, no doubt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ironically, they're also on that because they're going to be airing their press conference that Sunday night, but also during the afternoon, EA actually is, and I forgot to put this in the topics, but EA has their own press conference happening as well before E3 on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I had heard about that. They're not gonna have a booth there at the actual show.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna basically do their own thing where they show off all their stuff. Which was, for me, it's like, okay, whatever. For me, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, well, you can do your own stream. The only thing I really want to see from you is Mirror's Edge. Everything else is gonna be sports.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god.
Like, I don't really care. I mean, really, that company has just lost a lot of favor with me.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. For those,
except for Mirror's Edge.
Yes,
that is literally the only thing I care about.
Mirror's Edge and Battlefront, at least during that time.
Then I don't really care too much about Battlefront.
Yeah, like
I have it, I've played it, and just kind of like, eh.
Mm-hmm. The thing about, I was gonna say, for those who don't know, EA last year during E3, the entire time they were showing off some of their other games that people didn't really care about. I mean, sports games was another big thing there that they were trying to force onto gamers. But basically they were teasing the entire time as like, stick around, we're gonna show off Battlefront footage. That's what everybody was there for. But like the way that pacing, the way that press conference went was horribly set up. Having like a freaking 5-10 minutes conversation with Pele for the new FIFA game, that was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, really, I kind of feel like they're just like, all right, guys, every single time we fucking go up there and we talk about our shit, we get made fun of. Forget it. Let's just do our own thing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they decided to do their own thing in the afternoon, like the Sunday before E3 week. So and it feels like we're slowly getting away from the E3 format that we're so used to having, and we're gonna get these companies doing their own press conferences. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a long time coming. I think the E3 will eventually go away. So I don't know. Well, it's kind of sad to say that, but it's kind of in the direction that it's kind of going towards at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, coming for Doom. EA having their own press conference on Sunday, but that's it's interesting times for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking, don't you mention that? So the Super Bowl is, of course.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it is. It is. Yes.
And they had that teaser for the for help me out here. Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah. So they had that.
I have not seen it, by the way.
Okay, yeah. You. I would wait for the Super Bowl, but there's rumors going around that they might actually be like announcing a new game or something like that through the commercial. Because
really?
the one the one that's online, I think it's only like 60 seconds, but the whole commercial is supposed to be like 90 seconds.
That's interesting.
So it's missing like an extra 30 seconds, and because this is I think it's like the 25th year or 20th year of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are saying that they're gonna announce something. What do you think they would announce?
My guess is that I think they're gonna just announce that the release date for Pokemon Go. I think it's gonna be. I can't. It could be. That one thing that makes sense at the moment now, unless they have another Pokemon game that they're gonna announce, or we'll take that like they did actually, the detective game, Detective Pikachu, which maybe they might announce the date for that. But if I to bet some money, bet here, I'll bet a quarter. Yeah, on stream. There we go. I'm betting on a quarter to the fact that in the Super Bowl commercials that there will be a trailer for Pokemon Go with a release date. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on like a limb and say that what they're gonna end up doing, they're gonna show the commercial and then they're gonna be like, Pokemon Go available now. And then the world's gonna lose their fucking mind. Everybody in that stadium is gonna get up and walk out to go catch fucking Pokemon.
Maybe like they'll download the app right there and catch Pokemon within the stadium.
Oh, that would be tight.
Can you imagine? It's like Peyton Manning's going for a touchdown pass to win the game. Wait, it's. Wait.
And there's fucking Gyarados.
There's a Pikachu on the field. Oh my god. That would be crazy. That would be insane. People will lose their shit if that happens.
That would be fucking awesome. I am gonna bank on that. I am gonna go on a limb and say that's what they're gonna end up doing.
Yeah. For how many bison dollars?
And then I'll put $100 bison dollars in that.
$100 bison dollars, all right.
And then if it actually happens, we can say you heard it here first.
Yeah, definitely. You know what's funny is like the last time we made predictions for an event like Evo, it actually came true. One of your predictions. Remember, because that was funny because what we're talking about it the week after, the Evo lineup, one of them was Pokken.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, Greg and I were talking about it. We were talking about it, and it's just like funny. It's like, I guess we're good predictors for the future because freaking Ramen predicted Pokken and it's in there. So
yeah. I said it.
Yeah, and it's documented on the iTunes and Stitcher store as well as on the stream channel.
Oh, and then I also won another bet thing against Greg, which he still needs to eat.
Has he not done that?
Yeah, no, he hasn't done it yet.
Oh my god, he needs to. We need to record that on stream or somehow.
Once he gets back from being at MagFest, I'm going to remind him. And then I'm gonna have him do it.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our last story of the day is that Mother 3, the game that many people have proclaimed would never see the light of day in the U.S. Is actually coming to the U.S. surprisingly. Let me bring up the B-roll footage.
That's cool.
So Mother 3, and this is to mark its 10th game anniversary. This is from Eurogamer.net. By Tom Phillips. So Mother 3, the third game in Nintendo's role-playing Earthbound series, will finally launch in the West this year. That's according to a couple of sources close to Nintendo who have shared the word via Twitter and Reddit. Separately, Eurogamer has heard the same thing. I was told the release is finally happening via Wii U Virtual Console to celebrate Mother 3's 10th anniversary of release in Japan. The continued exposure of Mother/Earthbound to the West via Super Smash Bros. Has also dramatically helped the franchise gain nobility here. Don't be surprised if Nintendo celebrates a game's 10th anniversary this year. Nintendo tipster Emily Rogers wrote before posting a picture of Mother character Kotorma. Her account has now been deleted. Basically, she's like the what's the character from the Deep Throat of games right now.
What? What are you talking about? Where did this conversation go?
That's an old reference to the oh man, what was the movie called? When they find out Nixon's involvement in Watergate. Yeah. I'm aging myself, but anyways. Another source confirmed Mother 3 was the final stages of localization of Nintendo of Europe a little while back. Watergate. Thank you. Mother 2 for the SNES released in the West simply as Earthbound. It was the only game in the series to receive Western release, and even just in the US, not in Europe. Mother 1 made it here for the first time last year via Wii U Virtual Console, some 26 years after the original Famicom release. The upcoming release of Mother 3 is still a surprise, but after so long, the only translation available to date have been put together by fans. But Nintendo will likely be looking at the otherwise quiet 2015 Wii U release schedule and respond to the positive sales of and critical response to the Mother 2 Virtual Console release. So that is really cool.
Yes. I'm not a fan of the series, to be honest, but it's really cool, to see this game finally come out. I have like a lot of friends who are really into the game, and they've always told me about how much they've wanted it here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really cool, but it still kind of like begs the question: is like, why did it take so fucking long?
That I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like seriously, and like they had Lucas out in Brawl, and it's like, okay, I mean, you would just kind of like figure, hey, let's release Lucas and Mother 3, within this, the same time frame or something like that,
Here's my thing, and I think it's the same with all companies, is that they're putting out characters and they're putting out things to kind of gauge the interest of the audience. Like, does America really care for this game? Is it better just keep in Japan? But as years passed on, like a lot of gamers were really, really into this game. Like when Earthbound, came out over here, people fell in love with it, and then it, wanting more. So it's really cool. It's been a long time coming. I feel like these are one of these games where, you hear, not gonna say myths or legends, but these are games that you always heard of, but you never seen them other than some videos or screenshots, Japanese language. So like kind of seeing the fact that they're starting to realize like, oh, okay, that America wants to see this, that they're gonna bring it over. I think it's really cool. It's like, man, it's like kind of bringing like the Mona Lisa over here. Like if you only see the Mona Lisa, in pictures and in videos, but you never see it in person. It's like the same thing like that. It's like they're bringing that over here to the U.S. finally. So that's really cool. And I think the other thing too that I think would help is like they also released the prototype or like the pre-alpha version of Earthbound on the Virtual Wii U console recently as well. It was
really?
Yeah, they released like kind of like it's a game before Earthbound. I forgot what it's called, but like they released it on the Wii U console. You can get it right now. Actually, it's pretty cheap.
Oh wow. So they would much rather release the Earthbound beta before Mother 3. It's like, okay, that's kind of.
But it goes back.
Retarded.
I mean, it goes back to gauging the interest. I think, but
yeah.
But they finally figured out. It's like, okay, we're bringing it over. So after so long, we're finally gonna get Mother 3.
I just kind of feel like maybe they were like panicking. They were like, oh shit, we don't have anything to release. What do we got?
That is another good point.
It's like we have the NX coming. We're not making anything for the Wii U anymore. Fuck, what do we got?
I know. The ironic thing is like it's on two fronts. It's like you're totally correct that Nintendo have anything at the moment because they're kind of lacking in first-party games, aside from the few we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
But like, the funny thing to me is like, NX, we're gonna bring in new games. They're gonna show off the power of the console. It's gonna be, as they said, like just as powerful as the PS3 and PS4 and Xbox One right now. And what game showcased that? Mother 3, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I find that hilarious. But no,
Yeah,
seriously, it's cool. I dig this. So,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to finally have a game that's been loved by so many people and it's had kind of like a cult following to finally come over here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, with that, that's the end of our show. We made it. We made this stretch for an hour somehow. So
we did. It was a very hard battle.
Yes, it was. So before we end the show, Robin, where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me in the back of alleys, probably drunk, not knowing where I'm at. Other than that, you can find me at my Twitch channel and on Twitter at ExodRamen7. Going to be getting back into the streaming game here. Probably going to be starting off on Shovel Knight, which Greg has told me to play. Shovel Knight. I get into the beta. Street Fighter 5 comes out next week, I believe. So I'm going to be playing a lot of that.
Is it next week? I thought it was coming out like the week after.
Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, it's the week after next.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. The day after AOD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Glad to hear it. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Ramen do at our website at missionstartpodcast.com.
Woo.
Let me get you the. Oh, I forgot to add one more thing. Whatever. I put it in here. If I forgot to talk about it, was like The Witness, but it's fine. We can save it for next week. So if you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy watching us on stream or the YouTube version, the audio version, please check out the Mission Start Podcast audio on Stitcher and iTunes. Just to let you guys know, I am in the process of moving the RSS feed for Mission Start Podcast to Libsyn, so I'm trying to figure that out. But if you see any delays or episodes, be sure to let you know now. But yeah, definitely check out iTunes and Stitcher. We host these every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on this Twitch channel. And then for those who are watching or for those who are on Patreon, you get this early as of today, the audio version. So definitely check it out, as well as our other podcasts. If you enjoy convention talk, if you enjoy us talking about previous conventions, if you enjoy us talking about our experience at said convention, what our thoughts about it, check out the Conover, which is a podcast I also host, which also is available on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as on our website at missionstartpodcast.com. And if you enjoy comic books, entertainment, movies, a bit of anime, a bit of video games, a bit of a smorgasbord of nerdy stuff, check out the Rolling 20s with Jeremy Wilson, which he hosts about every other Friday, every other week. Definitely check it out if you're into that, which you can find on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as on this site, missionstartpodcast.com, in the podcast section. But that's going to do it for us. So with that being said, this is Anthony. That's Ramen.
And I'm Ramen.
And we will see. Well, take that back. So just to let you guys know, no show next week. I'm going to be at AOD, among a few other people actually from MSP. And Greg's going to be doing his own thing, I think, or he might be. Is MacFest this weekend or next weekend?
God, my voice is like, eh. I think it's this weekend.
I had to check.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I haven't really been following too much that has to do with MagFest.
MagFest is actually on the 18th. Huh.
Okay, so then week after next.
Okay, alright. That's cool. Alright then. So, with that being said, signing off, and we'll see you guys soonish.
Goodbye.